Hi there, welcome to Ogwell again, where today we're going to be showing you how to make some homemade charcoal. Lovely lumpwood charcoal here, which is perfect for the barbie or doing a bit of ironwork. And we're going to make that out of an old oil drum that we've got here. It's quite simple. You've basically just got to cut out the top of it, and you can either, what I've done here is add a piece of fluid to control the amount of air that's coming in, or you can cut some holes in the base of the drum all the way around to let the air in. It's a great way of getting the fire going, but you've got no real control of the burn. So what we're going to do is, to make our charcoal, once we've cut our drum top out, is fill up a drum that we're going to pop inside. So I'll put this charcoal that I made yesterday in there. Restock it with wood. So we take our drum and we're going to stack it with logs. Now these are lovely apple wood logs that I've split just for this job. They're nice and dry, but they stack beautifully in this tub that I got off the internet for £7.50 from that well-known auction site. So stuff it up with logs. Try and get as many as you can. There we go. Get the lid on. Now, like the drum, this mini drum needs to be burnt off in the fire first off. So when you've done your barrel, and you've got that ready, have a fire in it, pop your little barrel in there as well, and burn off all the paint from the drums themselves, and then they're ready to use. So we've loaded that up with wood. It's quite heavy as we carry it over, and we're going to get a fire going in here and then bob this in and cook it. Now this drum, what I've done is drill 4 holes north, south, east and west in this drum to let out the volatile gases as they cook. Basically you're oven baking the logs into charcoal. So to let out the volatile gases, which will ignite in the fire, it's great when you see it, you drill those 4 holes. So start off, we get a little fire going in the bottom of the drum. Right, so I've lit the fire in the bottom there, and we're going to put the barrel in a second before it gets too hot. And you can see here I've insulated around the barrel with an old bit of fire blanket. I'm going to wire that on with a bit of chicken wire and some wire, and that basically just keeps it hotter. It's more of an oven then. So come and have a look and see, I've just lit a small fire in the bottom. So we're going to add the tin of logs in. So in they go, and then we're just going to fill around that with 1 pallet load of split up wood. This is an old pallet that we've just chopped up into bits. Stack it in around and let that get going. So on the version I've made here, rather than cutting holes all the way around the bottom of the barrel, I've basically cemented in an old twin wall collar, twin wall 90T, which goes into the bottom of the stove for the air. So to make a better draft, I'm going to light a couple of fire lighters and stick it in here, and it should really increase the pull. When they get going, I might chuck a couple of bits of kindling on there and then push them up into the base of the fire, and it'll really get it roaring. So the fire's now going nicely, so we'll add in a bit more of the pallet wood as we go. I made a couple of additional elements to mine, which is this little lid here. So I won't put it on now, but later I can put it on and put a little tiny bit of flue pipe on there, and then it really works like a big stove, cooking that wood even better, so it sort of retains the heat a little bit more. So we'll let that get going. and then in a little while you'll be able to come and see the gases coming off the wood, coming out of those little holes, igniting when they hit the flames, and that shows it's really beginning to turn that wood into charcoal. Wood gases are now coming out of the little holes and igniting at the bottom of the drum, which is really giving the fire lots more energy. You can hear that sort of like a turbocharge. So we've used about half an old pallet's worth of wood, and I think that's about enough. So you can see in this full-size drum you could put another tin in and do 2 small drums worth of charcoal at the same time. Or you can do what I'm going to show you later, which is do a 2/3 drum and use the top third as a planter. Okay, so the wood's now gassing off nicely. So to keep that heat in and make sure it really turns into lovely charcoal, we're just going to slip this lid on that I made. Wow, that's hot. Pitchfork. Useful tool for this job. Got a little bit of flue at the bottom. And you can put a little bit of extra in as well to get an even better draw. We're just going to leave that until the fire's gone out and the drum's cooled down, and then we can take out the drum and hopefully we'll have lovely charcoal. Okay, so we've let the fire go right out and the drum inside, or what some people would call the retort, we've let that cool right down, and we'll have a look at what we've made. Now this method of sort of destructive distillation to make charcoal is a lot more productive than the sort of old way of making a big pyramid of wood and then encapsulating it to stop the air. You get a lot more stuff for your bang for your buck in this destructive distillation method. Let's have a look and see what we got. There we go. Some nice big bits of lumpwood charcoal. Ideal for cooking. It just gives out heat rather than any smoke or volatile gases. So perfect. So there we go. So there you can see our lovely lumpwood charcoal that we've made, and it's a good idea to get an extra drum that you don't put in the fire and burn all the paint off, and you can obviously use that to store the charcoal that you made. So, there's my lovely charcoal. Taking a couple of bits on, and then go and get some bits to put on the barbie. You're going to use a third of the drum to make a planter, so you'll get 2 things for the price of 1 out of your drum. So we're going to cut the drum into a third, 2/3.